One of the hardest gigs on reality television is to be the first queen to go home on RuPaul's Drag Race. For many drag queens, getting on the show is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to showcase an international audience what they got.
Unfortunately, for the gals who go home early, it's tough because they invest so much into their costumes, they never get to show on TV. Today, Naysha Lopez, the first gal to go home from Season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race, joins us to talk about winning the prestigious Miss Continental 2013 and how it compares with being on Drag Race.
Plus, is there any truth to the urban legend of pageant girls poisoning each other's makeup?
The challenges of being Miss Continental.
And who is she rooting to win Season 8? I'm Fausto Fernos.
I'm Mark Fillion.
And this is Feast of Fun. The time has come for you to show how fierce and fabulous you are, hunty.
Check out our t-shirts inspired by many great moments in drag in our fashion boutique, feastoffun.com/store.
Our guest today is Naysha Lopez, who unfortunately got sent home early on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 8.
Boo.
The first one to go home. Shame on them.
No, like for real.
Yes. But you're here, and you know, we've known and loved you for years. You've been a regular fixture in the Chicago scene as Miss Continental 2013.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
That you're a drag legend in your own times, and of course, you know, reality television is all about bruising egos. So, what better person to send home first
than the most gorgeous queen?
Yeah.
No, seriously,
that won a prestigious title.
Yeah,
well, you look at it in the past as like the first one to go home often is somebody that has actually accomplished something.
Yeah.
You know, like Pork Chop, she was a star of that documentary pageant. Kelly Mantle, working actress in Hollywood.
Totally. And, you know, I just had this discussion with a friend of mine the other day. You know, there's just some girls that need the show, and then there's girls that really don't. They're going to work regardless.
Right.
So whether I went home first or eighth or one, I know that, you know, I'm a working girl. Working girl. How bad does that sound?
Listen, we know how this continental pageant system works. We know very well how it works.
You know what I mean.
You work as a girl.
Sure. And not on Belmont.
So the song that sent you home packing was Lady Gaga's Applause. And now you can clap. But on the show, when you stretched out your arms, this GIF that's everywhere has your hands missing each other. What happened?
I don't know.
Everywhere.
That's hilarious.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen the one of it missing my
You're going
hands.
like this, you know?
Oh, because that was it. It's the guy, right?
You're trying to go. You're trying to go like this. You're trying to clap.
Is it the acting?
But it's like
no, you're up. No, you're up on stage. You're lip syncing, and you like go to clap.
I haven't seen it. I gotta see it.
I'll show it to you. I guess we'll have to done.
I totally have to see this.
So I'm going to give you a what is it? A vindication? A chance to make things right.
Yeah.
So I have the Lady Gaga redemption here for you.
Oh my God.
Are you prepared? Because I'm sure everybody's going up to you and they're like, how can you not know the lyrics to Lady Gaga's Applause?
I'm not jumping on any bandwagon because she's so pro-gay. That's just not me. I appreciate people for their artistry. And although I've come to appreciate her as an artist, at that time, boo, I was still working it out with Madonna because, you know, that's my girl.
You're a Madonna fan.
I'm a Madonna fan. Huge. I'm a Gaga fan, but...
Well, Lady Gaga's a Madonna fan too. So.
What song did you want? If they said to you, Naysha, we want you to lip sync anything, we're still sending you home, but we want What song would you like to lip sync to?
You know, in my iPod, I have a whole lot of Jennifer Lopez. Obviously, you know, I love her.
Oh, yeah. On the floor, honey.
Hence the Naysha Lopez.
The Lopez, yeah. And then I have some Madonna in there, too. Old school Madonna, which I love and appreciate. I would lip sync to that as well.
Okay, so we're going to... I'm opening this up. We're doing a little quiz here.
Okay.
So this is Lady Gaga's Applause.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read you the lyrics that come before, and you're going to say what comes next. And I'll make it easy for you. Okay.
Totally gonna fail at this.
I stand here waiting for you to bang the gong, to crash the critics saying...
Is it right or is it wrong? Some shit like that, right?
What is it? Is it right or is it
wrong? Yeah.
Yes!
Oh, okay.
There you go. See? Very good. If only fame had an IV, baby, I could bear. Being away from you, I found the vein, I put it in.
There. I don't know.
Here. And what comes next? This is the chorus.
Applause, applause, applause. Do you see how ecstatic I am with this song?
I'm so sorry, Naysha.
Oh, I hate this song.
Okay, so moving on, let's talk about Jennifer Lopez on the Floor, which is probably her biggest hit. So do you know the places that she's...
If You Had My Love is actually...
Well, this is the big hit, so you got to know the
you
hits.
want me to know this one? Ugh,
Yeah.
Right, the one I don't perform.
Now, pump it up and back it up like a...
Something truck. But that's this guy. That's what's his name?
Pitbull. Like it's a... Okay, if you go hard, you got to get on the floor. If you're a party freak, then step on the floor. If you're an animal, then do what?
I have no... You got to get on the floor.
Tear up the floor.
Oh, tear up the floor.
Break a sweat on the floor. It's very easy. The answer is floor.
Your rendition, you do understand you sound exactly like her.
I know. I'm just, people go up to me and they say, are you Naysha Lopez? Jennifer Lopez?
You threw me off completely. I said, I think she's here.
I'm like Pitbull. Pitbull,
totally
I couldn't do it, and so Pitbull did it.
His nickname is Jenny from the Block.
I know. We're all Puerto Rican. We're all Boricuas, honey.
Are we?
Yes.
Yes?
Well,
all
Mark
three?
is through marriage.
Oh, okay, go
I'm from San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
Faustito from the block.
From the block. And I believe it.
And where are you from?
We have a house in Cataño, Puerto Rico, which is...
That's right. That's where my dad grew up.
And
That's where
my dad's from Ponce, and my mom's born in Jaucoa.
So as a kid, you got to go to McDonald's.
No, we did Burger King.
What?
Yeah, that was
the only McDonald's in Puerto Rico was in Ponce.
No, but I didn't know. But I didn't grow up in Ponce. My dad was from Ponce.
Oh,
so I was in Cataño, and we were in Rio Hondo. Do you know Rio Hondo?
Yes, of course. Yes,
so you go down the first exit right there.
Yeah.
There's that Burger King right there. That was just like the
That was your Burger King.
Yeah.
Shout out, honey. Tú eres papito, tú eres mi papita.
So when you were
Do you
a
remember
kid,
that advertising campaign?
No.
when you were a kid, there was only one McDonald's in Puerto Rico.
There was only one McDonald's in Puerto Rico. It was depressing.
The thing is, it's not. You have the country and your área metropolitana, which is where you have all the restaurants. But when it's kind of country, you get maybe a McDonald's and maybe a chicken place or something.
What did you do when you knew you were being sent home, and they never show this on RuPaul's Drag Race because they're still feeding you guys, right?
Yeah.
You have your comfort food. Mm-hmm. I mean, it must have been really disappointing. What did you eat when you were after you got sent home and you were in a hotel room all alone?
I don't remember the restaurant, but it's this. It was fried chicken breast, like a bunch of fried chicken, and they would put it on a bed of lettuce and put a bunch of Caesar or whatever dressing you wanted. I think I got like 3 dressings. I asked for extra chicken. I'm like, you can hold back on the lettuce if you want. Make sure it's nice and crispy and all that.
Yeah.
And then the garlic bread. Oh, this most stunning garlic bread. I kind of want to go back.
So you got Italian food. So you want to be eliminated all over again in order to eat that delicious food.
Listen, I went there thinking I wasn't going to eat, but that's all we did. That's all every time
Bob
there was a
came
chance,
back like 30 pounds heavier.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I'm going to lose. I know I'm going to lose a few pounds. No, we all gain weight.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of these queens, they don't make any money, so they're broke, and then they're in the club, so you can't eat while you're in drag either, and so you're thin, and then you get to RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you just gorge, and then you don't really get a lot of physical activity, do you? Because you're kind of just standing around a lot.
All you do is stand around.
Yeah.
And then when it's like me, all you do is clap your hands and miss them, apparently. That's the only
that was really cute,
physical. That's the only physical thing I got to do, at least.
Well, let's talk about that dress, because, I mean, you went on the show, and you didn't know how to sew at all. I mean, did you not have an inclination when they said, hey, you're going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race? Did you not think to myself, I should just learn how to sew something real basic?
Well, I will tell you this.
What?
When watching it, it looked like I was giving them an excuse. But what you guys didn't see is that they asked me, do you sew? And when I say sew, I can, I make jokes about it, but
Okay.
I can take a button and sew it. I can hem something up and do little things. But can I construct a garment, especially from garbage? I had drag on a dime. It was just a bunch of.
They give you a piggy
garbage.
bank.
I had a piggy bank. I had like a
What kind of
laundry
piggy
basket.
bank? Was it like a ceramic?
Ceramic, and it was heavy. And I was just like, they gave me sponges, a bunch of sponges, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this? And I mean, I'm creative in the sense, of, not in that sense where I can take a whole bunch of garbage and construct a garment. One of my good friends on there is Thorgy, and Thorgy's like, bitch, I wish I had that one because that's my shit. That's what I like to do. And
you can trade challenge. So for people who are not familiar with this episode, these drag queens were given each a unique challenge from years past.
Correct.
And so if you could have had your way, like Burger King, where would you? What challenge would you have gotten?
I would have decorated the hell out of that boat. I don't know what the fuck Naomi did with that boat, but she did not decorate it. And she threw on a $5 dress.
I know.
She has legs.
She has legs for days, and she's stunning. My God, she's like 6'6". It's ridiculous. But in the workroom, I'm like, hey, so when are you going to finish your boat? She's like, I finished. I'm like, oh, okay. That's how bad the boat looked.
Well, I think it's just started for you, but it was very disappointing for your friends and family and your fans to see you leave early. How have they responded to that?
Positive. Everyone's been really, really positive and supportive. I can't complain about my support system. They're pretty damn awesome.
I heard a rumor that somebody stood on stage and said, all of us girls, we do this all by ourselves, but you, RuPaul, need a team to make you look like you do.
Someone did say that.
Yeah, but it wasn't you.
It wasn't me. No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you? I heard it was you.
Did I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about on the show.
Yeah.
On the show or like at the bar?
At when you kick somebody when they kicked you off.
No.
Stage.
I didn't say that. I don't want to say who did, but that person did go home the next day. I heard.
Because
this is a spoiler alert. The next day, right?
No, I'm giving you a little spoiler. There's someone that goes home, and this person did say that.
Do you think it'll make the edit, or did it make the edit?
I don't think it's gonna make the edit because. It's they hear us say everything. We go to the bathroom and have private conversations, and we're mic'd, so they hear everything. And a contestant was just venting.
She was venting on stage or in the bathroom?
Off stage,
okay.
But all the sound. And when it's good because they'll even go off stage and they'll subtitle everything you're saying, and they'll say. This is Naysha off stage saying this and this and this. They all trust me, they will. And she literally took her mic. This is what I heard, I was told. And says...
This is all rumors, right?
These are all rumors.
Yeah.
And said, RuPaul don't make any of her things, yet they expect us to do this and that and this and that. And she don't even do that. And then I heard that girl went home the next day, which I thought was kind of hilarious because I'm like, you think that had anything to do with it?
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe. Ru was like, it's my show, my rules.
Yeah. I made.
And Ru did like plenty of her own makeup for many, many years.
As Lady Bunny said, well, lighting shouldn't affect a bitch's ability to pull a comb through a rat's nest of a weave looking like Beyonce on a budget.
Girl, I love that.
That's from her appearance on Project Runway, where people were like, does RuPaul have cancer? It's like,
what's happening here?
It was like, no, honey, she just, she and Matthew Anderson weren't getting along at that time. And so she had to do it on her own.
Yeah.
And you have a team of people helping you in the pageant.
Yeah, when you compete, that's something you don't do on your own. It takes an entire team. I have a great team, and I couldn't have done it without them. I really couldn't.
So, what is the besides not knowing how to sew, do you know how to put on makeup or dance or lip sync?
Absolutely. Nobody touched my face but me.
Yeah, because that's how I met you. You were working the MAC Cosmetics counter.
Yeah, that's how I started. It's funny. Yeah. Right out of high school, I was 18 years old, and this is jab with MAC. I'm like, I'm working at MAC, and I'm 18 years old working with people.
And you were very cute. I remember we traded phone numbers.
You did say was, though.
What?
You said was.
Well,
as an 18-year-old.
As an 18-year-old,
okay.
you are very
and now
cute.
I blossomed into this big old masculine
You're a man. Now listen, you brought a very handsome gentleman along with you.
I know, isn't he gorgeous?
Is that your boyfriend?
Well, they're just starting their relationship, so asking if they're boyfriends.
It's new. We met yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We did
It's a Grindr hookup.
I was telling we met in Uber pool on my way here.
Come on in. I'm doing a podcast.
Listen, just come and hang out.
He's a good-looking man. I wouldn't let go of him.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
So tell us about the Continental pageant. What did it take to win that? Because for a lot of people out there that don't know, it's a very prestigious pageant. It's probably the biggest pageant for drag queens, female illusionists in the world.
Totally. It was really hard. And the hardest thing about it was that there were so many people that would tell you, Fabian, you're not transgender and you're not going to win this pageant because everyone that wins this pageant is transgender. And it's been 15 years since, someone who's a boy has won it. It's just not going to happen, And the dedication and the hard work and the sweat and the tears and everything. I mean, it took a whole lot. But at the end, to be able to, say that I'm a former Miss Continental and nobody could ever take that away from you, it's a pretty amazing thing.
So when you're being photographed with the former winners of RuPaul's Drag Race, and they're all kind of trying to like bully you or trying to like throw shade your way.
I wish I had a juicier story for you, but I get the opposite reaction from everyone. For example, going on tour, Bianca Del Rio, she would read everyone that came up on stage. And when I came on stage, all she would say is, this bitch belongs in a fucking aquarium because she's fish. Every time she's like, I mean, everything was so positive from her. Sharon Needles, she said, when I got sent home, she said, if it makes you feel any better, none of us could ever be Miss Continental, and you are, and that's
she
a
said
good
like,
thing.
if it can make you feel any better, none of us could be Miss Continental.
Happy Halloween.
Catchphrase here, a little laughter.
Yeah, totally.
What did Jinx Monsoon say to you?
Jinx did not say a word to me.
Went.
I actually, yeah, right. I think if you look at my picture, she's actually leaning.
She's sleeping.
She's totally leaning. Like it's Jinx, she's interesting. I like her a lot. For lack of better
words.
Well,
they had this clown. So I guess the part of the challenge on the show is that they had all the former winners of the show being photographed with you to see if you cut the mustard, if you had star quality,
right?
And of course they couldn't get Bianca Del Rio, so they hired a circus clown,
right?
But I think they photoshopped her in subsequent photos, right?
Actually, they at the end they released the photo, and she is photoshopped in. So it's a pretty powerful picture because it's all of them, including Bianca, because she photographed later on, and then she just got put in.
Who was this clown? Did you guys get to meet him?
He was the freakiest, weirdest looking guy ever. Think about it. We're taking this picture in here. I don't even think he knows what was RuPaul's Drag Race, what's going on. He's just all about it. I'm like, this is a chaser.
He's from
here.
casting.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like I go to the parties with the children and twist the balloons and stuff. I've not been around all these beautiful women.
Right. As he's, sitting next to Sharon. But.
And you're like, which one are you, Sharon Needles? Not sure which. Okay, so how are you feeling now? Like, looking back on all this, you've been traveling, you've been, performing in some really great venues.
Yeah, I get to go to Vegas this weekend. I'm going to be, I believe, at Piranha this weekend.
Where they eat you alive.
I'm hoping. So I'm really excited about the fact that this has only opened doors. This has not been a negative experience for me. Whether I went home first or not, I still get to work and travel and meet so many people, and I'm a part of this great sisterhood now that only 100 girls can say.
100 contestants, and so April Carrion, our Boricua sister,
my sister,
and other contestants have done this because you guys do plan all these costumes, you build all these costumes, and so instead of letting them go to waste, they post on Instagram or their social media. The challenges as they present. Are you going to be doing that?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because what some people don't know, which, they're like, it's season 8. How the fuck do you not know how to sew? And I'm like, well, I get a list. We all get a list. You actually get a list of everything they want you to bring. And there's been times you're not required to sew. You really aren't. You have someone like Adora Delano who didn't sew, and she won the sewing challenge because she pulled it off with a glue gun, and she did what she had to do, and she won that week. She won. So I do have all these beautiful costumes that, we needed to use, for these runways. So I am going to piggyback off April. I messaged her, I tweeted her and let her know. I'm like, I'm going to do what my sister did, and I'm going to show you guys, my looks basically of what I was going to be wearing on the runway and our challenges that we got.
You host a viewing party every Monday, right?
Yeah.
So why not just wear it to that?
I guess I could do that. Yeah. We were just planning on shooting it, do a little photo shoot and then just release the photos every time, those come out. So, I was going to yesterday's challenge. I have a black gown. You can see it. I wore it to the, San Francisco premiere. It was this black, beautiful sheer gown. And that's what I was going to wear for the challenge.
Beep! Censor. You can't say what the challenge is because then,
What do you mean?
They're going to come after you, the police.
What?
The fashion police.
From yesterday.
Oh, never mind.
I'm like, what did I say?
No, so how much did you bring with you? Because they give you a certain limit of how many suitcases, right?
You have 5 suitcases.
That doesn't seem enough.
So, I mean, how many? It's 40, 50 pounds. 50 pounds each suitcase. And I filled them up each.
250 pounds of drag.
Think about that.
Wow. That's a lot of drag to be dragging around.
Yeah, totally.
Now, just for the record, you've been doing interviews, and people have been asking you some odd questions. A lot of them is like they want dirt. They want to hear drama.
Yeah.
They want to hear how evil the other contestants were in Miss Continental or RuPaul's Records. But everybody's, pretty responsible and civilized and good people that you're dealing with.
Totally. I mean, everyone throws their little shade here and there. This cast is very that way. Yeah, we throw a lot of shade at each other, but at the end we all love each other. Yeah.
Except Maya Ines, that bitch, she's gonna mess you up.
Wait, who's
she doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
I just started. But so there's an urban legend that drag queens or pageant girls throw ground glass in someone's makeup.
Or chili pepper.
Yes. Oh my God, is that not shady?
And that actually has never actually the chili pepper has not happened. I guess the Miss Puerto Rico in 2007.
Miss Puerto Rico Universe.
What was the story about? What was up with that? Do you know the story?
They took some. It was like pepper and just powders that were really irritating to the skin, and they put it in her makeup and on her gowns. So it really did happen. Yeah, and so when she put it on, she literally broke out in hives. She was full of hives, and she couldn't wear the clothing, and they had to get her all kinds of makeup and everything because they literally fucked with her shit.
And now, did she win? Did she a little sympathy vote?
Actually, I don't remember if it happened at the prelim or if I believe it happened at the prelim, and she won. And then she got so much attention for it. I think too much.
She probably did it to herself. She's like, oh my God, look what happened.
I wouldn't be mad at it. She was everywhere. She was on Today. She was everywhere after that. And it was almost like it just completely overshadowed the fact that she won the pageant and was going to Miss Universe. Yeah.
Now, at the red carpet premiere, where we got to meet all you guys, some of the queens, you could always tell the ones who go home early because they were pissed off.
They were kind of angry.
And like one of them, I'm just not going to say her name because, you don't know what shit she's going through, but you could tell afterwards she was just sitting in the bar and she's like, I'm a famous drag queen, buy me a drink.
Oh wow.
And I was like, girl, are you okay? And she was wearing one of those fancy contact lenses. And she's like, I can't see through these contact lenses.
I think I know.
Of course you know.
You totally
she was really, really upset. And part of it is like, but you know it's coming.
Well, that's the other thing though too, is like you're a performer and then it's like, these people have all these expectations and they think, oh, how far did you go? Like they're going to see you. And then you can't tell them, listen, you're going to be disappointed, right? So it's got, that part has to be really hard.
So why are we not saying this person's name, by the way?
Well, let's just say that her name shouldn't be Dax ! Yeah. It should be Dax ?
Okay. Just like we said.
That was like left going, girl, relax. It's just a TV show.
I mean, think about it like this.
We'll see her Friday.
Violet.
Yeah, we're going to see her Friday. Yeah. You keep my name out of your mouth.
I mean, Violet Chachki, her drag daughter, goes, competes, and wins. You get on the show, and you get eliminated in a double elimination.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That has to feel a certain kind of way. And she's carrying that on her back right now. My drag daughter can win this, and I can't. Mm-hmm. So it gets a little challenging.
Well, it's the thing, though. It's like, listen, there can only be one person,
Absolutely.
right? You know, and you've got 12 people competing, and so it's somebody's got to go. And a lot of times, you don't necessarily, as we've seen in the past, you don't have to be the talented queen to win. I mean, certainly, like there are very talented, like Jinx is a very talented queen, Bianca Del Rio is a very talented queen that are really good in their forte. But there's other people that were also in there that were also very talented, but differently talented. And so it's very mercurial on the part of RuPaul on who she chooses,
absolutely,
or whoever logo executives tell her she needs to choose.
Right.
Because I heard last year she didn't want Violet. She wanted somebody else.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
But Logo said, no, you will choose Violet.
Yeah.
After that She-Male gate, you're picking Violet.
Yeah.
She'd already had her.
But no, like, and for example, there's girls that are on the show that didn't win, that did win. Shangela, she won for me. Alyssa, she won. Because these are people that are, Latrice Royale, these are people that are, Katya, that are so successful, doing so well that they did win. They really did. I mean, BB, she didn't win. Let's be honest.
And
Nina won.
Yeah.
Nina won.
And Tyra, who won from Tyra's season?
Raven, I think, right?
Yeah.
Raven won.
Raven.
Raven.
Wasn't Manila Luzon on that season? Oh, no, she was season 3.
Manila is to Raja, I believe, right? Raja won, and Manila's her runner-up,
Which
right?
season was Pandora Box? Was it season 2?
2.
Yeah, so she won in a sense.
In a sense, yeah. She got congeniality, and she was that comedy queen. And
would you say to sisters that are take things hard, because you've certainly been in enough pageants and seen people like who are very deserving, get sent home or not win. You seem to have a very good head on your shoulders about this.
Yeah, I try to be positive with everything, and don't look at the glass half empty, look at it half full, because just know that you're capable of so much more. Sometimes it doesn't happen or work out the way we kind of plan or anticipate, but we have to look at, the bigger picture. And sometimes it's, what did you learn from this, or what can you take from this? And I learned so much from this, and I know that there's so much more for me. So,
maybe it's loneliness. Like, you strike me as somebody who has a very strong family community. You're surrounded by beautiful people. And so it's like, when things go bad, it's you get, as the Beatles say, high with a little help from your friends. You get through these things because you have a strong support network. For some performers and entertainers, it's them and the hot glue gun.
Yeah, no, totally. And you know what? Sometimes it's them that kind of pick you back up, because when you are doubting yourself or thinking, in this negative state of mind, they're the ones that sit there and tell you, hey, you're more than that. You're this, you're that, you're everything. So
Alyssa Edwards, you're familiar with her? She's a pageant girl.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine. Yeah,
she's kind of a winner. Can you translate things from Alyssa E's to English?
Do you understand her when she speaks?
I do.
Okay.
Like, get into my gig. It could mean so many things, like whether it's the mug, she has so many things. Like, it really is a challenge just to understand what she's saying. Sometimes you're like, girl, but like, for real, what did you just say? Right? Like, what do you mean by that?
Is she exaggerating, or is this like just her energy is just so dynamic?
This
all
is
the
her.
time?
That's Alyssa. Oh, Alyssa's on all
24/7.
24/7.
And what do you, like, psychologically speaking, like what do you attribute to that type of behavior or dynamic?
I think that she is who she is, and she really doesn't make apologies for it. She's like, this is me, like it or not, take it or leave it. Yeah. I mean, and I think she's like that in everything she does. She's won pageants, and she's never compromised who she was, because she's now, Miss All-American Goddess. So I have to be this way. She's like, no, I won this pageant being me. I'm still going to do me. And if they don't like it, then they can get rid of me, which has happened on more than one occasion. But
I heard rumors about you, girl. Let's talk about your reign as Continental.
Sure.
What kind of challenges did you have during your reign?
The fact that I was a boy, even Jim, when I would go to, I'd land at the airport at noon and have to be at registration at 1 p.m. I'm not transgender. I cannot just, I have facial hair.
Right.
I don't board the plane with hair down to my ass and a full face of makeup and go straight to registration, where you just register contestants. They show up as boys, the ones that are boys. But there was an expectation that because I look the way that I do and I play the part, that I was going to do that as if I was transgender, and he kind of forgot that sometimes. So did Jim and I bump heads? Absolutely. Do I love him to death? Absolutely. He's such a great guy and does so much for me. I really do love him.
I heard you offered him the crown back.
We had a conversation about stuff, yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
Not really. Only because.
There's a lot of rumors out there. So this is a chance for you to address. This is
the thing. I know how Jimmy works, and he knows how I work, and I love him to death. And
he's an icon.
And we're in a different place.
Okay.
So to revisit that, I feel like he'll revisit it as well and kind of start to feel a certain kind of way.
Okay.
But, he sent me a message the other day and said, how truly professional I've been about everything and how proud he was of me. And those are the things that I like to remember about Jimmy, and not so much,
Just to clarify who we're talking about here is Jim Flint.
Correct, the owner of the Baton Show Lounge and the Continental Pageantry System.
And this is a man who has been around for decades. He is organizing drag queens and drag pageants.
And owning a gay bar since like the 60s or something like that.
Yeah, actually their 44th anniversary is this week. Tomorrow starts the shows, and they're celebrating 44 years.
Wow. That's remarkable.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And so when you're sort of like talking to Jim, and this is a person who's like part of this huge history, and and like whenever I'm interacting with people like that, you kind of want to be a little silly, right? You're like, because there's so much gravity to this person's accomplishments.
Yeah, with him, I tell him all the time, I can listen to him talk all day, every day. There's just so much experience, so much wisdom. There's just so much to him that I really can't listen to him speak every day.
And what for you was the biggest change in your life, or the way you think about being a performer, going through that pageant system and working with Jim Flint?
What I've learned from
what did you learn from Jim?
True professionalism. He has really taught me true
like showing up on time.
Not today, bro. Not today. But he's actually very huge on that, and he's one that will let me know you need to be polished and look professional and act professional. And by polish, you're talking about like blending your makeup and stuff like that? No, the whole look, being polished. It's great to have beautiful makeup, but if you're wearing a rat on your head, what good is that makeup? You know what I mean? And it's just being polished from head to toe, So in your estimation, a strong drag queen is someone who's really good at doing hair and makeup, but there's also a performance element to it. Right, and that's all about being polished. You want to be well-rounded all the way around. And, you can have someone that has a polished look, but then they're not the greatest entertainer. And then that queen is not so polished. You know what I mean? Because you want to be really well-rounded.
What'd you make of the whole Coco Montrese, Alyssa Edwards feud that they seem like they made it to be a bigger thing than it was. Is it? Or
I've always thought it was a big thing. It really
was a big deal.
Yeah. It seemed like a big thing.
It was a big thing because it was something that, we didn't need to watch the show to know about it.
Can you explain it to me? Because I'm still like years later, still not sure what happened or who.
Yeah, it's funny because if you watch the show again, they even named the wrong pageant. But it wasn't Gay US of A. It was Miss Gay America, and Alyssa won the pageant, I believe, and Coco was first runner-up. But Gay America is very, very strict, like where they don't want you drinking, smoking, they want you promoting.
And this is a competition for drag queens?
Yes, exactly. No, exactly. This is for drag queens. Now, this is just strictly boy queens, by the way. You cannot have any work done. You can't it's a really strict pageant, and they just weren't happy with Alyssa. She was breaking some rules. They just weren't happy with her at the time.
Like breathing.
Yeah, right. being gay.
She's walking out the door and opening her mouth.
Yeah.
And she broke all the rules.
So
they gave it to Coco Montrese.
The first runner-up, yeah.
And that pissed who off? Was Alyssa upset about that?
I believe so. I really haven't gotten her feelings.
That's why I was confused, because I saw Alyssa and she didn't seem upset about the fact that she had lost the crown. It seemed that Coco Montrese was upset.
I think it was the friendship thing, because it's like you and I are really, really good friends, and they basically offer you this crown because, you know, she didn't, you know, she's breaking these rules, and
you took it.
What
was she supposed to do? Say no?
I mean, she could have, you know, because, for example, for me, if I was first runner-up, and this is in no way in representation of Coco's character, you know, she made this decision because she wanted to. But for me, if I want to win the pageant, you know what I mean? I didn't want it to be handed to me. If someone, you know, I'm getting it by default,
right?
You know, and
but you still get a tiara, right, or a crown,
and the cash, the cash.
Which is a nicer tiara, a RuPaul crown or a Continental crown?
Continental's crown all the way.
Okay,
she's stunning.
Why is RuPaul so cheap?
You tell me.
You got a RuPaul doll.
No,
actually, I heard a rumor.
No, we don't keep
those.
No, we don't keep those. No, that's all show. I held her. The cameras turned off. They're like, okay, give it back. And you're like, I don't even get this.
So that's just like Cooking with Drag Queens, and also Hey Queen. You get we give you a medal, and Johnny gives you a trophy.
But you take them back.
And everybody takes it back.
We used to give them the medal, but it was just kind of...
It got expensive.
That's costly.
Well, honey, we don't got 2 nickels to rub together. You know, we're taping this out of a FEMA trailer. You know what I'm saying? But so what about Alyssa Edwards?
Alyssa Edwards,
who basically got all the drag queens to paint a white stripe down the middle of their nose, which
was it Alyssa?
No, that was Roxy Andrews.
Roxy Andrews, thank you.
The exclamation mark nose.
Yeah.
Or the French nose, some people call it.
And I just don't understand why, like, and I love the Vixen here in Chicago and other drag queens. But to me, I'm just like, can't you blend that line in the middle of your nose? What you're a makeup artist.
Yeah, and you know what it is that they don't understand what they're doing. They do it because everybody else is doing it.
Okay.
Look, we're all putting harsh lines on our cheek and our nose, so that's what they do, so that's what I'm gonna do. They don't understand that you're trying to, you know, narrow out the bridge of your nose. Why the dot? So your nose looks elevated, so it's up, so it's not falling. Like, you know, they don't understand that, and without understanding that, they don't blend, none of that.
But with Trixie Mattel, we sort of started seeing a school of makeup where it was like, you know, we kind of like how freaky and weird and fake that looks.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Trixie, and I've actually put on her makeup.
Yeah.
If you really want to understand what a drag queen thinks like, put on her makeup, and then you suddenly go, oh, this makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Trixie is, first off, ridiculously talented. Her makeup artistry, along with, you know, Kim Cheese, is just like, it's ridiculous.
Well, Brian, who's Trixie, he's like trained as a makeup artist.
Yeah.
A hairstylist, he has a cosmetologist. I believe
he worked at MAC or something, right?
Yeah, he has a cosmetology.
He was going to school for cosmetology.
Yeah.
I think he planned on continuing that.
Yeah, I still have my license, my cosmetology license. Yeah, I mean, it helps.
Do you ever lose it? Helps.
No, you just keep renewing it, and you know.
So the face don't change.
No, you just renew it.
So about the Trixie's School of Artificial Looks.
She's she's caricature, and she's kind of poking fun at drag, you know, and she's having fun with it. She's not taking it seriously, and that's cool. It's fun because it's something different, you know. It's cool. I don't like to knock anyone's drag just because it's not the same as mine. You know, we're all doing art, you know, and art is subjective. It only has to make sense to the artist, right?
And then there's this school of New York City that, you know, we're finally starting to see with Acid Betty, which is this blurring the lines between, you know, a gender illusionist like yourself and a club kid who there are no rules. It's like, is that a ping pong ball? I'm going to glue it in my face, you know?
Right.
Is that snake skin? Well, I'm going to airbrush that snake skin effect.
Yeah. I appreciate her artistry, but she's just a strong personality, and she's one that's just like you said, I'm going to glue this, I'm going to put this, I'm going to do that. And I think it all has to do with her personality and not so much the drag, because she's not really up there lip syncing to something and doing that type of drag. She's singing her own songs, and I'm not sure that's something
that anybody should do.
Listen, she has a lovely voice.
At least not this soon in the game.
What about Thorgy Thor, who
is one of my favorite people in the whole world? Oh my
I have that, I love his
energy,
dreadlocks.
Oh, the dreadlocks.
And he really has it out for Acid Betty, it seems, huh?
You know what? Thorgy is she's just calling him out on it, because other people, this is what we would do. We literally would just turn on and be like, just shut the fuck up and just walk away. When Thorgy's like, stop being an asshole. And they have that type of relationship because, they're friends, they've known each other. She can be like, I said, you're being an asshole right now. And there's no need for it, And there's times that he lashes back, and there's times that he took a few steps back and was like, you know what, I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have did that, But right now, what we're watching, I'm like, damn, this bitch is like a lot.
Well, and then somebody who just seems like an unstoppable entertainment force, and that's Bob the Drag Queen.
Oh my God, Bob.
Feast of Fun alumni, if you could call it. We call her an alumni.
He called himself a contributor.
One of the best. I got to tell you, I don't know few better people than Bob the Drag Queen.
Yeah.
It's a testament, and I think the pageant girls kind of get this, is that you have to raise money for charity.
Yeah,
it's part of your. Drag grew out of civil rights.
Yeah,
drag queens used to not be worried about offending people. They stood up for politics. Yeah. They endorsed Bernie or Hillary or Trump or whatever. Right. It's like they made a political statement, and now a lot of these drag queens, they're like, I'm worried about my brand. And I'm not,
right.
I'm not talking about Miss Fame, but I hear drag queens out there just getting very squeamish or conservative about saying something that might offend somebody.
Right. And I think it's the younger ones that haven't done, their homework and looked into the history of drag and what we stand for. It's kind of sad. It is kind of sad.
How can we encourage drag queens to be more radical and be more political?
That's a great question, and I promise you, I don't know that I have an answer for it. The only thing is that the ones that do want to take a stand, we just have to, and I think that within time they'll catch on with it, because it will get old. It will get old.
Because with the pageant girls, you're sort of required to choose a charity.
Pageant girls.
What was your charity?
We didn't have to do that with Continental.
Okay.
What we would do is we'll have benefit shows for someone who is throwing a charity event or something like that.
Who was the main charity that you
the charity that we do?
And we meaning your team.
It's the one. The burlesque. What is it called? It goes to
the AIDS burlesque. I know what you're talking about.
Is it burlesque? No.
Burlesque.
There's burlesque, but it goes to I can't
burlesque
think of the
performers.
Right. No,
the old timies.
No, here in Chicago we do a charity event called Burlesque.
Okay.
And all the bars get together, and we do different events.
It's for T-Pan.
T-Pan. There we go.
Yes.
So that was
just for the people who want to know, you can go to burlesque.org. This year, their theme is bedtime stories.
Yes.
Ooh, Madonna.
Yeah,
well, Bob's dress, because from episode 1, she's auctioning off on eBay to benefit the True Colors Foundation in New York, which helps homeless youth. And right now, the bid is standing at $405. So you have by Wednesday at 3 p.m. to be able to bid on that if you want that dress.
Please do. The dress is actually really pretty, and you might have a future winner's dress. Who knows? You know?
Maybe you could buy it and learn how to sew from it.
I think I'm going to need more than a dress just to learn how to sew from
That's actually how a lot of the drag queens do. They buy a dress they like, and then they destroy it.
Well,
and use it as a pattern.
Thorgy was talked to me about patterns, and the thing was I had it was no stretch, no nothing. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to cut to the size, hence why slits and draping, because I really couldn't get anything to, fit with all the shit that I had.
Do you remember what you said about your look ultimately?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like being draped like a Greek goddess. And
Yeah.
And we've known since then.
Somebody else did the Greek goddess thing too and was eliminated.
Candy Ho.
Candy Ho was
I
just
didn't know.
I'm serving up Greek goddess. And like RuPaul's Drag Race, they shared it.
Yeah.
The gift of both of you, and they're both like, from now on, don't serve up Greek goddess. And you're like, now you tell me.
I'm like, yeah, now. Yeah, that's funny. They sent it to me personally. They texted to me and I saw it. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, my God.
I didn't have a beard, though.
Do you know Candy? Because all the Puerto Rican girls know each other.
We've worked together and we competed against each other at Continental when I won. Yeah. She made the top 12.
Well, that's good.
The Puerto Rican girls do very well in that contest, don't they?
They do. That year particularly, I think there were 3 or 4 of us in the top 12.
Now, did you come up with a lot of the other Latin queens, like in Miss Kitty's review at all? Were you part of that scene?
That's actually where I did my first show.
Oh, really?
Miss Kitty.
Miss Kitty.
She's the one that gave me like my first opportunity to do drag when I actually really wanted to.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you and Gia Gunn are from that same family.
No.
Well, Gia was she was from Miss Kitty family.
She knew Kitty, but she was like a fan. She was more of a fanatic.
Okay.
She really loved like Whitney Gaetan and to watch us be a part of the show, and she'd come to the show and watch and do stuff like that. And then she started doing her own thing. But I can't really say that she was a part of that.
Okay.
That family. But what we do love about Gia and always have is, she's. It might not show sometimes, but she's a very smart person, and she would come around and she learned the language. She communicated with us. She did what she had to do to get within this inner circle, perform with us, do our kind of music. She would go there and do a merengue, and you're like, how's this little Japanese bitch coming in here and pulling off Selena right now? She's doing Selena, knows every single word. Like it's something that that work ethic that she had at that time, had to be appreciated. Yeah.
Well, that's what I really appreciate about doing this podcast is that we get to show that side of somebody. Like the only reason anybody knows that Gia Gunn knows how to talk Spanish is because of here.
Yeah.
And she's like she speaks better Spanish than I do.
She speaks great Spanish.
And her new show she's got, it's called Gia Guns and Roses.
Yes.
I'm like, you go, girl.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and she's a real Chicago treasure and stuff. And I guess we were trying to get like the cameras to visit her family in the suburbs.
But her mom moved.
Yeah, her mom moved, but her dad's still here. But I guess she as a teenage boy was on PBS because he was known as a geisha girl.
Yeah, kabuki.
A kabuki.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Like she was a really, she had a little taste of fame as a teenager.
Yeah, and it was it's like she would get in drag basically, a little geisha, and do this kabuki, and it's really cute. Actually, it was really cute.
Can you imagine if a 12-year-old Naysha Lopez could see you today? what would be their reaction?
I have no idea.
Would be scared?
My friend, my friend Kelly, her son, his name is Matthew, and she was watching it. And she's watching the show, and she's like, "Oh, she's pretty." And he's actually like 9 or 10.
But he knows you.
No, he doesn't.
Okay,
he doesn't. I haven't met Matthew yet. And he watched the show. He's like, "Oh, she's pretty." And Kelly's like, "Oh, that's mommy's friend." He's like, "No, she's not. You don't know her." Like, it's so cute. But he was so like all about the show, and really, it's really cute. Yeah.
It is sort of weird, like, because we get to meet you girls and have you on the podcast, and we adore talking to you. But anytime I ever tell anybody, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're doing like today." So I was walking home. So we're interviewing Naysha Lopez, and this friend of mine is like, "Yeah, right." And I'm like, and it is sort of like once you see somebody on television, it really changes the way they think about you.
It totally does. You're having a cocktail, and they're like, "You drink?" And you're like, "I drank before. I'm gonna drink now. I'm drinking more."
Yeah.
But no, they're very that way. Like they don't. I just went to a restaurant and I ordered a slice of pizza, and this kid just kept staring at me, and I was with my friend Brian, and he's like, yo, are you on TV? But just like that, in that voice, he's like,
really?
yo, are you on TV? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you went home, right? You were the first one. I'm like, yeah. He's like, and he's like, man, you were the only pretty one. I'm like, oh, this kid is smart.
Aww.
But no, he was.
Well,
so
you're
cute.
a good-looking
So nice.
guy out of drag too.
Well, thank you.
But you know what drives me crazy? Because those talking head shots that they do out of drag, they have to get you. It's like one look, so they can edit you out of sequence. You know.
Yeah, it's funny because some people don't know this, but after like the first, you film one episode in 2 days. So I got eliminated, but I still had to do all my promotional things. So it's funny, I had just got eliminated, and then I was shooting Meet the Queens. I was not a happy person, and I was shooting Meet the Queens, and I had to. And there were times I'm like, well, and I kept saying things past tense, and they're like, you have to say present and future because obviously they don't know.
Well, that's not good scheduling.
It was no, but it's the only way to do it without meeting the girls. Because the promotion is done all of us together. So it's so unfortunate for that first girl.
So how long were you gone for?
What do you mean?
Well, how long did they keep you?
So that happened, I think it was like Wednesday, Thursday. Then we shot promo Friday. And then on Saturday, I had to do all the boy interview portions. So the part where you just see me talking as a boy and I'm like backtracking, you backtrack and they're like, tell us, say your name. And you're like, I'm Naysha Lopez. But at this time, I had already been eliminated. So you're just
how big is those neon pair of lips that are behind you?
They actually are pretty big. Like it's a good size.
The size of a car.
No, yeah, they're pretty big. They are pretty big. Yeah.
Because they have to make them big enough so to be out of focus behind your head. So that room is pretty huge.
Actually, it's kind of like this.
It's about the size of the sunroom.
It's kind of like this. Yeah, it's kind of like this.
Well, we could run RuPaul's Drag Race right here in this house.
Right here.
Yeah, suck it, World of Wonder. Well, Naysha Lopez, what's coming up ahead for you in the future? Where are you going to be taking your illustrious new career?
Well, I'm working. I have to be blessed that I still get to work. I work at 7 nightclub and Hydrate Thursday through Saturday. So I get to work, and when I'm not here, I'm traveling the country and introducing everyone to my drag.
And who are you rooting for to win?
I love Thorgy Thor just because she's an amazing human being, and Bob the drag queen is probably, in my eyes, the most consistent one on the show where I can listen to him talk and have a good laugh. And, the drag aesthetic, it's getting so much better. Like I saw him and I'm like, girl, did you paint your face today? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, it looks great. And he's like, I've learned so much just, being on the show. Oh, yeah. And
girls always come back looking better.
Looking better, just looking way better. And he's something else. He's just something else.
Well, you can look forward to him in our premiere episode of Cooking with Drag Queens, which will be out in a couple weeks, I guess.
Oh,
right?
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be, lots of racist things in that episode.
Oh, my God.
Is there? Courtesy of Bob.
Courtesy of Bob.
Yeah. Only he could get away with that shit. He really can't.
Well, because he was like, I'm not going to give it away, but there's a little exchange there, and I was just like, I don't feel comfortable doing this, but I'll do it because it's Bob.
Yeah.
and it was hilarious, but definitely wonderful. And, Naysha Lopez, we look forward to seeing you travel and grow. And are you going to be releasing any music videos or anything?
Actually, yeah. So we have some we got the merch, the T-shirts, but I'm working with a really talented DJ and producer. His name is Hector Sandel. Do you know Sandel?
Of course.
Yes.
I have no idea who that is.
No. He's one of our Puerto Rican brothers. He's a Puerto Rican DJ, and he's a big old tribal and circuit type of music.
Great.
And he's really awesome. And we're working
Hector
on
Sandel Sanchez?
No.
How do you spell his name?
Just put DJ and do Sindel. Cindel.
Oh, Sindel.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cute too.
Yeah, of course you would notice that.
Well, it's like, is it possible to be like a like you got to kind of be really good looking to be a successful DJ, even though it's your music, they're not looking at you.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And in his
I think I matched him on Tinder.
You matched him on Tinder.
I swiped right. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like
Actually, he lives not too far from here. Where's my grinder? If you put it on,
well, that's the thing.
We'll
You
find
remember?
them.
You remember Pearl's naked dick pics that got spread around on the internet, and everybody here in Chicago was like, "Girl, we've all seen your junk."
Yeah,
And it was like such no big news, you know. But everybody else was like, "Oh my god!"
yeah. And to me, the gag is how many RuPaul girls have their dick pics, their movies, their all kinds of shit out, and it's just like, oh, girl.
Everybody.
When is yours going to
That's
drop?
another one. I'm sorry.
When is yours going to drop?
I think I'm gonna leak it. I'm gonna leak it myself when my album comes out. I'm gonna leak dick pic at the same time, real nasty.
That's actually a really good idea.
Well,
you know,
I'm not stupid.
if I had something big to promote, I'd something
if you had
small to
something
promote.
big to promote, you'd show it. I want to remind folks we can't do this podcast without your support. So if you're not a Plus member yet, consider signing up today at feastofun.com/plus, because your contribution to the show is what makes this show happen. We wouldn't be able to talk to lovely people like Naysha Lopez if it weren't for you supporting this podcast. And also, too, we've got fabulous t-shirts for sale at our store, feastofun.com/store. Get your hunty t-shirt or your not shaven gives me more time for misbehaving t-shirt.
Naysha Lopez, look at this gorgeous shirt here. This is the Cooking with Drag Queen Season 2 t-shirt, and it's made with pink diamond dust.
Faux diamond.
It's made with pink diamond dust.
It actually is the cutest thing ever.
Isn't that adorable?
Isn't that gorgeous?
Absolutely is.
It's like, and it's available right now.
Look at that hand. That's like my hand.
Yeah, it looks like you're.
It's feminina.
It's available on our website, feastofun.com/store. Every t-shirt you buy goes to support Cooking with Drag Queens and helps more delicious episodes happen, childrens.
Well, we can do it with your help.
Naysha Lopez is available for gigs. The best way to contact you, because a lot of people come to me and they're like, I don't know how to get a hold of these girls.
All my contact information is on NayshaLopez.com. Every city that I'll be in, all the merchandise, when the music comes out, everything's on there. So if you just visit NayshaLopez.com, you'll get all of it on one-stop shop.
Great.
Wepa.
Thank you, Naysha.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Bye.
Bye.